Good morning, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? Yesterday morning, y'all, you know I'm coming to share a weekly word to you. And this week's word is appreciate the people in your lives. Tell them thank you. Yesterday actually, morning and evening, I had the opportunity and privilege to speak to two people. And it was regarding, one was being taken advantage of, and one was taking advantage of someone, and I don't think he even realized it, and I don't think it was intentional. The funny thing is, the young lady I talked to yesterday morning prepared me for the conversation I was going to have yesterday evening. That's just how God works. This person yesterday morning has spent money on top of money helping someone that they love. I basically was telling her how she was handicapping the individual, and she said, I said, you don't realize it, but she doesn't do for herself now, because she know if you say anything, you know, she doesn't have to, and you are going to do it. So she said, well, I feel like I have to do it. What am I going to let her do? Go without? And I said, yeah. I said, because what has happened here is you have allowed her to believe that she can do and misuse her finances and do whatever, and you're going to come to the rescue, Johnny to the rescue all the time. I said, and you are expressing to me, even though you don't mind doing it because you love her, you are frustrated with her. So you're feeling some type of way because you're constantly having to do. And the situation arose where she had a breakdown of her vehicle. And the person outlaid, it wasn't her, on the person's vehicle, outlaid 10 times the amount that the person, because they didn't have the money to get it fixed. So she paid for it, of course. And it needed some fluids in it, which was $16. So the person that owns the vehicle paid the $16 and then felt some type of way about having to pay the $16, while the person that doesn't even own the vehicle paid 10 times that amount to get the vehicle repaired. And she said, can you believe that? But this happens over and over and over again. This person puts themselves in situations and expect that this person will bail them out. I say, you have to learn to say no. She said, well, I can't say no because then she'll go without her. She needs to go without. And it's okay to help people, but sometimes you can become a martyr sometimes without telling people no. So yesterday afternoon, the situation arose where this person that's helping has really put themselves in a financial situation. I'm not going to say that this person has done everything right, because she has made some definite errors in the situation as well, and has to own up to her part of the responsibility. But the person, one of the people that's taking advantage of her, could see how everybody else was manipulating her, but they really couldn't see their role in it. And the truth of the matter is they love one another. And I know this person has taken on the responsibility of, she has to be the savior for everybody. She has to help everybody. She, you know, keeps quiet and doesn't say anything and just goes and putting herself in a hole to assist someone else. And when you do that, sometimes the person you helping don't realize that you're in trouble. They take it for granted and really don't appreciate it. They go on living their lives. They don't appreciate what you do. It's not that they don't appreciate it, but they just get so used to you doing it that it's like an everyday thing for them. They expect you to do it when you really don't owe them to do it. They should be being responsible for it themselves. And so they add also to, you know, the person that don't know how to say no. But what I came here today for, you may be the person that's draining and sucking the life out of somebody and don't realize it. And you may not necessarily be sucking the life out of somebody, But you may always have to go to this certain person you take it for granted that this person gonna be there. And I've had situations where people feel like you supposed to be there, and then they feel some type of way when you can't, or when you're not. You begin to depend and lean on somebody so much that you take them for granted. That's mama, that could be daddy, that could be sister, that could be brother. Every time you get in the van, you run to this person, and this person is always there. You never consider what the person has to go through to be there for you or anything. And you may be the person that's allowing someone to take you for granted. Learn to say no. It's all right to have a loving spirit and to help someone, but at the detriment of your own life and your own preservation and your own self-care, it's not good. And you have to appreciate people in lives both ways. You have to have faith in people and faith in God that they're going to give that person the strength to overcome, and that you're not always the rescuer. Sometimes you have to rescue yourself, and sometimes you have to pray that God leads you in the right direction to know when to help and when not to help. Because sometimes you're not allowing God to move in their lives when you are always the one to say whatever. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And learn that people that do for you all the time sometimes can't always do it. But they do it anyway because they don't want to see you suffer out of love. Learn to appreciate people and be cognizant of what you do and how you act and how you move around them. Don't take for granted that they're always okay with helping you, with doing for you. And that's not to say that they mind doing for you sometime and still will do for you. It's okay to accept help sometimes, but be responsible for your own life if you can. But when people do something for you, appreciate it. And recognize that I don't care if I have $1 million sitting in the bank. If it's 10 and I give it to you because you say you need it, this is just a small amount. That's $10 I don't have. And that's a sacrifice even if I don't want to do nothing but sit and look at my $10. It was mine. I earned it. You see what I'm saying? So just because you're looking at somebody saying, well, they're not really suffering for it, that's beside the point. It was theirs. And they sacrificed and gave it to you, whether it was a small sacrifice or a large sacrifice. And a lot of times, y'all, I'm going to draw this back to in life with God. We take God for granted sometimes because you know He always picks you up. He always holds your hand. He always be there. And time again, you know, we just say, well, I know God got me. And you take it for granted. And you don't move and do things that you're supposed to do to better your life and to live like Christ would like you to live. Learn to be appreciative. Learn to wake up with a grateful spirit. Learn to wake. Every day is a brand new mercy. God has blessed you to see another day. You wake up. These people didn't wake up this morning. And instead of you being grateful, you pie-mouthing about what's wrong and what you don't have and what you do have because you've taken for granted what God has blessed you with. You've taken for granted the health and strength you have. Learn to appreciate the people God put in your life. Learn to appreciate what God does for you on a daily basis. Instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what you do have and how God has blessed you. Instead of looking at what people are not doing for you, look at what they do for you and say thank you. Wake up in the morning and tell God thank you. And make sure you take care of yourself because you cannot be of service to anybody else if you're feeling some type of way about doing stuff. When you start feeling used and abused, the joy of what you give and the love in which you give it in is lost. Make sure today that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do to take care of your life. And you can love people and say no. It's okay to say no. And I'm going to tell you what people do. They'll slick tell you, you know, if you're going to really figure it out and you're going to work with God to figure it out, you do that. Don't mention it to the next person that you know or know somebody will tell that person, and then that person still feels some type of way and feel like they have to come to your rescue. Be mindful of how you treat people. Love people, appreciate people. Tell the people thank you in your life. And if today you know that you're the one that is sucking the life out of somebody who is continually dependent on somebody, pick up the phone and say, I appreciate all that you've done. Sometimes that's all a person needs to hear. I appreciate all that you've done for me. I thank you. I know there's times you've gone without to help me. I appreciate that. And I don't, sometimes I don't tell you, but thank you. You can even have that conversation with God today. Lord, I know sometimes I don't take time out to talk to you, but I thank you. And y'all, this was just something just to be mindful of who the people that God placed in your life, to be mindful of your own actions, be mindful of the thing you do, and to be grateful and thankful for what you have in your life and where you are and the blessings that God has blessed people to bless you. Y'all know that you're loved. I love you, but God truly loves you the most. Remember to always be kind to yourself and others. Be joyful and be blessed. And y'all have a great day. Love you much. Bye.